Yep, good.
Mine are all coming in. I'm going to do media now. I'll talk to you in a few minutes, okay?
Jason, I'm in the back.
They're coming in good.
Just in case
Okay?
You'll have to ask.
Thanks. Talk to you in 5 and do media, okay? Love you. Bye. There we go.
It is my pleasure to introduce the champion of the 42nd U.S. Senior Open, Padraig Harrington. How do those words sound? Champion of the
sounds
Senior Open.
Really good. I think I said it here yesterday. You know, when you come to the Champions Tour, it's here to win tournaments and win the big tournaments. Try and win the majors. You know, and I really appreciated the type of week it was. You know, the USGA set up a fabulous course, much tougher than I had expected. I knew that would play into my hands, but it was really nice that, you know, really solid, tough golf course. Saucon Valley is excellent, and you know, obviously there's a lot of pressure on this type of style of golf course when you're leading. You don't want to make a mistake. You know, anytime you're more than 20 feet away from the hole, you're in trouble in some ways. So it was definitely a tension-filled day.
We're going to go right here to Jim.
Padraig, interesting to know, when you were a kid trying to one putt to win the Irish Open, why don't players ever say, I get a two putt to win the championship?
Because there's no glory in that. I told you there'd be no glory if I didn't win from the wrong side of the draw. There'd be no glory. We you know, as kids we certainly wanted to be magical and dream about it, and golf's not like that, to be honest. You know, it was a tough day. I said it to you yesterday. We're having a 5-shot lead going out there. Yeah, if I went out and played great and ran away from the field, I could wave at the crowds and take shots on, and if anything, you know, maybe even improve my position. But golf just doesn't be like that. It always, how many times do we see it? It always comes down to the last couple of holes. And you know, when it got very tight, my caddy just kept reminding me that, you know, if we were told we were going to be in this position on Sunday when we arrived here, you know, and a week in advance, if we were told we were going to be, you know, with a 1-shot lead, we'd be very happy. And you know, I had to take it as an opportunity the last couple of holes. I think it's harder. It is very hard with a 5-shot lead. You're definitely very defensive. The last couple of holes, you know, I suppose when I got back to 1-shot lead, I was still somewhat defensive, but it's a position you want to be in. I didn't enjoy hitting that putt in the last from 3 feet, but you just have to accept that if you want to win tournaments, you've got to put yourself out there, and you know, it could have been bad, but I got the glory instead.
Joe.
Padraig, were you aware of what was going on ahead of you with Steve?
Yeah, you know, I'm not a leaderboard watcher, but, you know, when I got through 9 holes, I looked up and saw I had a 6-shot lead, and I was quite chuffed with that. You know, I hadn't lost anything. You know, I played 10 and 11. I didn't think I played 10 and 11 badly, and I ended up making 2 bogeys, which really, you know, set me back. And then, yeah, you know, at that stage, I had to start thinking about the leaderboards. And when I got around to 13, I think I saw a leaderboard that I was that Steve was 7. I thought he was 6, then he was 7, and you know, that meant a 2-shot lead. I knew things were tight. I heard a few cheers as I played 15, 14, and then as I was going up 15, I heard cheers, but you couldn't tell who they were for. I'm not sure. When I birdied, I hadn't looked at the leaderboard I didn't look at it on 15, even though there's a big one there. When I birdied it, I hit a nice tee shot down 16. I asked Ronan we heard a big cheer on the 18, so I said, I assume that's Steve. He's about 2 holes ahead of me. Rose says, yeah, he's making birdie at the last to be 9 under. So I knew I had to. No, I knew I had options over the last couple of holes. You know, 16 particularly, I was hoping to birdie 16 to give myself a cushion. 17 is obviously it's a great pin if you're trying to make a birdie, but it's a really terrible pin if you're just trying to make a par. And then 18 is another pin that's a great pin if you're trying to make a birdie. It wasn't so easy from where I hit my pitching wedge to, but you know, as I said, I knew I had that. You know, if I hit a good second shot, good third shot, or good fourth shot, I was going to win the tournament. And as Arnold Palmer says, if you're going to hit one good shot, make it the last one.
We're gonna go to the right.
Where was your mind at 10 when you're trying to take that drop and you're
I was very happy. I was very comfortable where I ended up. I was pretty confident I was going to get that up and down. Where I hit it to was horrendous. I ended up in a like a little cupped area on a downslope. I had no shot for my third shot. I thought for my second shot I was happy. I thought that was a mega break for me not to be, if that plugged in the sand, I would have been hacking it into the sand. I would have made 5 probably if it plugged in the sand, but I thought plugging in the bank, getting to place it on the upslope, maybe the stance was a bit awkward, and certainly I could have, I could have placed the ball gently and made it so I could have gone further and further away, but I knew I could place it there and play it, and I didn't think it was a bad spot, even though it was a funny stance, and I just mishit the shot. It was a bad shot I hit.
We're going to go to your left, Michael.
Patrick, 274 is an unbelievable score in this golf course. Shows
I got it to 10 under par at a USGA event. I was very anxious about that. When I got to 10 under par on day 2, I said, oh no, 10 under par at USGA. And it is that number, isn't it? That they don't often, guys get there, they come backwards. So thankfully I finished that.
I know this question's a little crazy, but if you took you and then 155 guys from last week and brought them here, exact same golf course, what do you think anyone shoot lower than 274?
I would think so, yeah. But I would have shot lower than 10 under par if the other guys were here. I wouldn't have been defending. I would have been attacking. Uh-huh. I would have shot lower if there was somebody out in front of me. Yeah, I think I would have shot lower. But if you put a field of those young guys out there, it's the depth is very strong. You fancy your chances playing one-on-one against a player, but when you're playing one against 155 of those young guys, they're pretty good when they're on form.
If you don't mind, just one semi-related thing. To my mind, there's 3 really great senior majors: the British Open, U.S. Open, and the PGA. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
There's 5 of them.
Okay.
I'm not gonna. There's 5 now. Let's play 5.
Okay. You answered it. Thank you.
It's the same with the 4. We're not going to decide at the 4 regular majors who's the better ones.
Okay. I was going to get at the point.
It's nice that they're different.
Yes. I wonder if there could be, there's so much attention to the 4 Grand Slam for the kid majors. I just wonder if there could be some kind of special name for these 3
I
that
think
I'm
it's special
talking
for
about.
me to win this one just because I've never won a USGA event. So I think it, I think that adds more than if you could turn around and win a different senior major. But because was never a US Open normal champion or a junior champion, it's great to come and win the senior one. So it's just it adds something that I never had in my career.
Thank you very much.
It adds something. Gold medal.
On your right again.
Can you talk a little bit about your play out of the rough? It wasn't like you hit every fairway off the tee. It seemed like you had some really quality
I
shots.
drove it great this week. Obviously I took on all those 2 par 4s and things. The one thing that I really did this week is drive it well. Very rarely got myself in trouble. Obviously on the couple of times I was in the rough, I seemed to get some bad lies on that. Well, I hit it in the rough twice on 7 and got some really gnarly lies when, looking around me, it didn't seem too bad. So outside of that, I hit it in the trees twice, 7 as well, and 13. Outside of that, I really didn't hit it in the rough. I don't think I was in the rough to be, per se, that was of any note. Oh, I hit it in the rough on the right of 3 on day 3, didn't I? That was nasty. Nasty lie in there. But certainly drove it very straight for me. I'm very happy with that.
Back to Jim here on the left.
16, 17, 18. Which was the toughest 2-putt?
Isn't it weird that my putting won the event today? After how I struggled on the greens for the first 14 holes. I think 16 and 17 were 16 and 18 were triple breakers. So that was the problem on 18. My putt was left to right, right to left, and left to right. 16 was the same. 16 wasn't as bad because it was all downhill. It was getting there. I didn't mind 16, even though it had a couple of breaks in it. 17, I don't know if I could have got the ball any closer. So 17 was the hardest putt because the further right I went, the higher up the hill I went, meant the faster it would come down. So 17 was definitely the hardest 2-putt.
That's what Ronan said too.
Yeah.
Back to Michael.
He knows a thing or two.
Thanks so much. You played so great at the PJ last year with Shane Lowry. I think you were only 3 shots behind Phil. It's hard to believe that's only 13 months ago. So much has happened for you and all of golf, Ryder Cup and all the rest. Does it seem similar to you, like it was forever ago? How does it seem to you?
You know, you remind me of the Ryder Cup, you know, it would have to be Steve Stricker chasing me down. Like, I'm just thinking, God, Steve, give me a break, please. You know, and Steve's a tough competitor and certainly seems to have one on me over the years. So it's nice to get one back on him this time. Outside of that, yeah, golf, it's only 13 months since the PGA. Wow. Yeah.
Seems like
you know, I had a lovely partner like Shane at the PGA that time. He was a great partner to play with on Sunday. Gene was excellent to play with today, and you'd be surprised how that makes a difference to how well you play on a Sunday. If you get a nice group, somebody you're very comfortable with, you know, and he was very nice to play with him and Angle, his caddy. So yeah, God, 13 months, and a lot has gone on in that time. You know, no doubt about it. It's did they say interesting times is a curse? May your life be interesting, something like that. Certainly, yeah, plenty of drama going on in the world of golf.
Well, before we let you go, we're going to welcome up Thomas Ripson, CEO of CF Martin, who has one more gift for you.
Oh my God. Do I have to learn?
Congratulations. It's really such an honor to stand next to you. Congratulations on your win. And this is a Martin guitar, D28. It has the signatures of all the players from this tournament, and we're so pleased to present this to you today.
Who's got the biggest signature?
Here you go.
We're going to look right at Steve right there.
Absolutely. Are you a player?
No. My son does, so. Here, you go this side.
Oh yeah, there you go. All right.
I'll have to go to see Elvis Presley now.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
You can make me look like a player.
That's
Okay? I really appreciate that.
Well, our pleasure.
My son in particular thrown a few strings on that. Thank you very much.
Yep, absolutely.
And Padraig, congratulations again.
This might come out in the pub tonight.
Yes. It's true that
He's okay to play. It's for playing.
good.
I don't want.
Playing and for enjoying.
Okay. And I'll make sure I find somebody who will play